The schools were good, and the housing was more affordable, and there were some great restaurants around the corner. And then we're there 3 months, and we look at each other and say, like, oh shit, there's no synagogue near here. It just didn't occur to them. But it's not that they were trying to avoid Jewish community. It was that they were making values-oriented choices in their lives, and there are a lot of competing values, and it wasn't the top of their list. So what do you do when you're in a situation where you're kind of, you're moving to places, and maybe living near a synagogue was not your first priority? These rabbis, I think, are trying to say in their defense, look, we want Jews to be able to connect with Jewish community. And if there are these competing values, and there are ways that we can find space within the law to create exceptions, so that it's plausible for them to do it, right? Nobody's going to say, eating pork is okay, right? Like, there are certain things you have to draw a line, but maybe I can eat dairy in a non-kosher restaurant in order to be part of a community, even though it's not the strictest interpretation of the law. So here's the last thing I wanna kind of say by way of conclusion, because someone brought up the Tesla. I mean, you may know that I drive an electric vehicle, and this has been an interesting journey for my own family. When last year our daughter was coming to the age of bat mitzvah, and all of her friends were having their b'nai mitzvah in the county, and we were faced with a values conflict, which is, do we send our 12, 13-year-old daughter away every weekend for 25 hours, to call on our friends in the county to host her every single week, to be separate from her family all Shabbat long, when Friday night dinners is really important to us, Saturday afternoon naps, and frankly learning her own parsha for her bat mitzvah, or playing together, spending time together. There are all kinds of reasons why we want to be able to celebrate Shabbat as a family. And as we began to talk about it, we realized that we didn't want to drive our regular combustion engine, because we don't do that, because we do hold that fire is fire, and Miriam and I think come at it, it's like for slightly different reasons, but that's a choice we made as a family. And is there also a way within our observance of Shabbat, which includes use of electricity for things that electricity is permitted? So we'll turn on lights, or I'll use amplification from my guitar to lead services, but I'm not using electricity to cook food, because cooking food is a separate prohibition on Shabbat. But we use electricity. Could we drive an electric vehicle? And in fact, that's what we started to do. We bought the Tesla Model 3, and we have been using it in order to participate in Jewish community. And the other value that we realized that was part of that whole conversation was, and by the way, we're also not like burning fossil fuels and filling up, with oil every 3 months. And so there are other kinds of affirmative Jewish values that presented themselves when we made the choice to go and buy the electric vehicle. I'm not advocating that everybody ought to go buy an electric vehicle so you drive on Shabbat, but one question for those of you who do drive on Shabbat, and I know that many, if not all of you do, is, if you're going to do it, are there ways that you can make values-oriented choices, affirmative choices, to do so in a way that isn't in kind of direct violation of one of the halachot? So I'll just offer that to you as something to consider, as perhaps the next evolution, right? The next generation consideration of this question of driving on the Sabbath. All right, everybody? Any final comments? Sorry that I went a few minutes over. Nice learning with you all. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, it's great. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. This is my first 3 days off in a row.
Now I know why I got a vote.
Very long.
Now you got a bolt, right? You just have to be careful you don't drive too far, right? That's the problem. A certain right, there you go. So you're driving it and then gas.
As long as I remember.
Now, I'm surprised it hasn't been more
Yeah.
fueling stations in Tyson than Park
Oh my God, it's such a pain. It's the worst. There are no charging stations in places.
Yeah, and it's interesting that
The range on Model 3 is 310 miles per charge.
That's great.
It's great. Now, it's less in winter, it's less on the highway, but it's certainly it's enough to
I wonder whatever
go
happened
to
that-
someone's house for Shabbos dinner.
years ago, and they may be doing these railings.
Oh, that was the swap, the
Company,
battery swap. I
yeah,
think-
Company Israel was working on a thing where you just swap batteries.
Yeah, I think he got invested, and it went belly up.
Oh, really? Yeah, they can make it work in Israel, so they can make it
What
work.
the button is,
Yeah, just the red button.
I'm not sure if it was the concept, I think it was like there was some investment, it was a great idea.
You know, the concept, yeah, and then try Israel because it's small.
I am terrible at technology.
Yeah, okay.
I'll let,
You couldn't do it unless. Yeah.
So I guess here's a good one.